Hey guys, so I'm going to take a look at Dogecoin, and I have the chart open right now and I'm looking at the weekly time frame. So as you can see, this looks, this is a long-term bullish pattern. This looks really good. And the reason why, if you look at, say you look at CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko every day and you're not seeing big swings in the price now, it's because on a lot of these charts, we're coming to this very narrow consolidation accumulation range. So you're not going to get the big swings as you would like in at the start of, well, when the bear market was just starting out. So now we basically, I think we've already bottomed, and we just have to kill time bouncing between this range here until we approach the apex, which is due to happen. Let's see. Breakout could be as late as November this year. So at that point, I mean, it could break out anytime before then, but at that point, it's going to pick a direction. And I mean, given the time frame that is happening in relation to the halving, the Bitcoin's halving, which is, I think it's going to be in April 2024. I would suspect that the breakout will be upwards, but you never know with crypto. But I mean, if the breakout is down, this is going to be a huge drop. But I don't see that happening, right? That would I don't know what the catalyst would have to be to basically just collapse the price of this and all the other altcoins. So essentially, if all the other altcoins are breaking out, you're not going to have one that just collapses unless something happens fundamentally with that particular project, right? So, so yeah, I would suggest, if you want to trade Dogecoin, draw these lines on your chart. It's a bull pennant, right? So draw these lines on your chart, and you could trade within the lines until the apex, right? So, but you got to be careful though, because on this weekly time frame, you are getting wicks that poke out, right? So if you want to enter a long, if you're up here, you want to enter a long, make sure you get one that has a body close above this downsloping resistance line. And this lower line, basically the bottom of the wicks, have been support all three times. So if you do come down to the lower region of this, you can look for a long and place to stop just below there. So yeah, I mean, the altcoins in general, they all look pretty good. If you've noticed the thumbnails on all these videos, it looks like we put in like these very bullish patterns, and we're approaching the apex, or we've just broken out on some of them, and they're just kind of like ranging. They're in a range, a very tradable range, but they all look pretty good. I think, you never know for certain with this market. Crypto is pretty volatile and unpredictable, but I think the bottoms are in for most of these coins. And if you wanted to accumulate for the long term, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not giving financial advice, but I would personally start accumulating for the long term, and then look to exit those positions late 2024, or the beginning to midpoint of 2025, depending on what Bitcoin does, how the Bitcoin price is looking. Okay, so let's take a look at a different chart, and I have two charts because I have different indicators on them here. But this one, I use a premium indicator. I'll link to it in the pinned comment if you want to check it out. But you see right here, I mean, I guess I have to explain this every video because I may have new viewers that haven't come across the channel yet. But this indicator, basically, it's called a smart trail. And when the price is above this blue line here, it shows that we're in an uptrend. And then when we're below the red line here, it shows that we're in a downtrend. So it's just an easy way, so you don't have to just manually look and see, oh, we got higher high, lower high, whatever. You can just get a visual idea of the trend just by looking at it here. And also, as you can see, that as the price comes back to this level, if you're above the smart trail and you come back, it acts as a support level. So basically, we were above this this blue support level pretty much the entire bull run, and it acted as support the entire bull run. And we've been below it for a long time. And as you can see, as the price approaches it from below, it acts as a resistance level. So what you can do, I mean, this could act as a confirmation. So say we end up breaking out of the pattern that I just showed you here. Connect the lows. Basically, let's say here. Let's draw the bodies there. So if we break out of this bullish formation here, this pennant, this triangle, then and then we get to a point where, because basically, if this breaks out, then we're going to have to fight with this smart trail as a resistance level. But if that flips and this turns blue at the same time this bullish pattern breaks out, then I think that is the confirmation that you can get in and just ride this up for the bull market. And depending on how you run projections on this, the price target is going to be massive. Like this is normally what you do, you take this is called the flagpole, and then you project it from the breakout, and that would give you the target. And you could do it yourself, but the target is very high, right? Let's dial this. So let's see if you wanted to enter a trade, like a short-term trade. Let's see if we can see any decent setups here. So let's dial this down to the, you know what, actually, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to put this on. So to briefly explain what this is this indicator is called price action concepts, and it just marks out areas on a chart where a lot of transactions have taken place, and they're called order blocks. And typically these order block regions act as either a support or a resistance level. So let's pull this back to the 1 hour. And on the 1 hour, you'll see we're just in a range. And ranges they're boring, but they're okay because they're very tradable. So what I'm seeing here, horizontal line, let's just draw here. And as you can see, these two blue lines here, this marks the previous day high and the previous day low. Oftentimes the price will respect these levels. So what I would do is I would take the horizontal line and I'll draw just from the previous day low. And this can serve as the bottom of my range. So you see it actually lines up here. Okay, so Dogecoin on the 1 hour, we're just in between this range here. So what you could do theoretically, if it comes up to the top of the range, what you could do is you can enter a short position and then put your stop just above here and then target the bottom of the range. So just as an example, I like to use these indicators. So this will show you what kind of risk and reward you can get from a particular trade. So let's say the price does come back up to the top, right? You can enter a short, you could place your stop just above here, and then you can target the you could go all the way to the bottom of the range here, but I would be more conservative and I would target just this order block. That would work. And that would get you, a really good risk reward ratio. That's about 6.5 to 1. Sorry, 1 to 6.5. So you're risking you'd be risking 0.27% to make 1.76%. And I'd use a little bit of leverage with that to amplify my gain on the position, right? So if I use a 5x leverage, and that would be a pretty good gain. Good risk reward ratio. That's the kind of setup I like. Likewise, if we come to the bottom of here, then you could just do the opposite. You could look for a long position. So you enter, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with using the exchanges or whatever, but you can place limit order, so you don't have to stare at the chart all the time. You could just basically go in BitGet, for example. I linked to it in the pinned comment. You could just say, okay, just put your order in at 0.064, your buy order, and then you could place a stop loss. When you place your buy order, you can also place a stop loss. So you can just set it and forget it. And that's also, I do that quite often. So let's just say you were able to get in there, you place your stop. Where are we going here? You place your stop just below. Be careful though, because we had a wick down here. We didn't have wicks going through on the top, but on the bottom we have one here. So be aware of that. But anyway, you're not going to risk that much on this trade. And then you can target. I would target the previous day high. So that gets you risk reward ratio. You would risk 1, and then your reward would be about just a little over 5. So 5 to 1. Very, very good. Risking 0.39% to get 1.94%. Okay, so on this short term, there are a few entries you can look for on that. And the long term, again, you can just trade within this range here. You can trade within this range. So basically, to recap, if you have a candle body close above this down sloping resistance, that's a big buy entry. That's a good signal, very strong signal that we're actually breaking out of this. If we come down to the bottom of this range, then you could look for a long with a stop loss underneath. All right, guys. So yeah, Dogecoin looks pretty good. Take care, guys. Bye. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, if you want to get more of these, if you want to be notified when I release more of these TA videos, just subscribe now. All right. Okay, bye.